So, what really causes test anxiety? We're about to break that down, and let me tell you, it goes way, way deeper than just, not studying enough.
You know that feeling, right? Your mind just goes blank. Your heart starts racing. You've been studying for weeks, you know this material, but the second that test hits your desk, poof, it's all gone. If that sounds familiar, well, you are definitely not alone.
Yeah, check this out. A huge meta-analysis found that almost 34% of medical students experience this. And we're not just talking about a minor case of the jitters here. This is a significant issue affecting a ton of people in some really high-pressure fields. So, to get to the bottom of this, we're going to dig into a fascinating study from BMC Psychology. Instead of just looking at numbers, these researchers actually sat down with medical students in focus groups to understand the real experience and the root causes of test anxiety. Okay, so this right here, this is basically our roadmap. The study found that test anxiety isn't just one single problem. Nope, it's a mix of three core factors: what's going on inside the student's own head, the academic resources they have, and the external pressure from the examiner. Let's break them down. First up, the most personal factor of them all, the student themselves. It turns out the biggest battle is often the one happening right between our own ears, long before we even walk into the exam room.
And this really shows you the two sides of that coin, doesn't it? On one side, you have negative thought patterns and just not taking care of yourself. That's basically rocket fuel for anxiety. But on the other side, actively working on positive thoughts and practicing self-care, well, that's your shield.
And listen to this quote from a student. It just hits so hard. They explain that after making a mistake, someone with a positive mindset just moves on. But if you're stuck in that negative loop, you just dwell on it, replaying the error over and over, and your anxiety just skyrockets. It becomes this awful, vicious cycle.
And the antidote can be so simple. Another student pointed out that the foundation for managing anxiety isn't some complex psychological trick. It's the basics. Good food, proper sleep, just taking care of your physical self to help fortify your mental self.
Okay, let's shift gears to the second major factor, the academic environment. This isn't about what's inside your head, but about what's being thrown at you, the sheer volume of material and the way it's all structured.
So you've got this major tension, right? Are you being crushed under a mountain of information, or are you being supported with helpful tools to climb it? The study was crystal clear. A massive curriculum is a primary trigger for anxiety. But, and this is important, it's not an unsolvable problem.
And wow, this student perfectly captures that feeling of being completely overwhelmed. It's not about a lack of effort, it's about the task feeling impossible. When you feel like you're being set up to fail right from the start, anxiety is almost inevitable.
So what actually helps? Well, the students had some really smart, practical solutions. More low-stakes quizzes and homework to build confidence. Clear briefings so there are no surprises on exam day. And even just making classes more engaging and fun, which helps with memory and reduces that feeling of a monotonous grind.
All right, now for our third and final piece of the puzzle, the examiner. This is all about the human element of evaluation and the truly massive impact a single person can have on a student's state of mind.
And the difference is like night and day. An examiner who is overly strict, critical, or seems like they're just looking for you to mess up can be a huge source of anxiety. But an examiner who is kind, approachable, and gives constructive feedback, they can actually reduce a student's anxiety right there in the moment. This quote is just so powerful because it's so specific and real. The students in the study even had a name for it, the malignant examiner. Isn't that something? It's not just about being strict, it's the body language, a lack of basic courtesy, things that make a student feel totally stressed before a single question is even asked. And now, look at the contrast. It doesn't take much to make a difference. A smile, a kind tone of voice, just simple acts of human decency that tell the student, hey, I'm here to evaluate your knowledge, not to attack you personally. So here's the crucial point. When we put all three of these factors together, we get a clear, actionable framework for understanding and hopefully finally reducing test anxiety. Let's look at our roadmap one last time. See, it's never just about telling students to calm down or just relax. A real solution has to address the entire system, empowering the student with self-care, reforming the curriculum to be supportive, and training the examiners to be constructive. Based on all this, the study's authors landed on two really clear recommendations. First,
give students access to psychological support to help them manage that internal battle. And second, train the examiners on how their approach and communication style directly impact a student's performance and well-being. Simple as that.
So the final question is this. This study looked at med students, but these lessons apply everywhere. In your own life, at work, at school, are you just enduring pressure, or could you be the one to help redesign it, even if it's with something as simple as a smile?